We are now handing over to Tia and Blair, who are introducing a presentation from our rangi community.
ICAS stands for International Competitions and Assessments for School, and it is based in Australia at the University of New South Wales.
Writing, I guess the candidates have to write a narrative or story starting with, Sam turned the lights off immediately.
They have 5 minutes to plan, 20 minutes to write, and 5 minutes to edit their stories. This morning, 6 students are going to entertain you with their ICAS stories. First up is Shelby Allen, who achieved a high distinction for her efforts. Shelby?
Sam turned the lights off immediately, the sight burning his eyes as he ran outside his house, tripping over his sister's fashion magazines. Finally, he burst out the front door and into the garden of tulips and roses. Taking deep breaths, he thought over what he saw. He didn't want to, but he couldn't stop himself. Inside his living room was green slime mixed in with blood splattered everywhere. The hexagon curtains, his mother's mahogany dresser, the cream couches covered with his dog's fluff, all of it, not even the ceiling, was untouched. It showed the obvious signs of a struggle. But worst of all was the creature on the oak wood table in the middle of the room. On top of it was a 5-foot-long creature with grey mangled hair all over its body. The claws 1 inch long with bits of rotten flesh stuck in them. Sam didn't get a good glimpse of the face, but the eyes were wide open, bloodshot and glowing. He couldn't go back in there, he thought, as he puked into a flower bed. His hand went to his pocket, searching for his family's photo. It was gone, dropped in the living room. His family was missing and it was all he had left. He stood up and walked to the doorway, smelling the nauseating smell of rotten bodies. In he went. When he reached the living room, he was ready to scream as scared, angry, upset emotions coursed through his body. Relief flooded into him when he saw his photo by the sofa. Crouching down for it, he realised something wasn't right. The creature's limp body was gone. Grasping his photo, he heard a deep growl. Turning around, his eyes met the monster's. Fangs bared, slobber dripped down onto its chest. I stumbled backwards onto my back into a puddle of slime blood. The creature loomed overhead, readying for the kill. My last sight was of the monster's throat.
Thank you, Shelby. We now understand why you were awarded a high distinction.
Jessie Harris and Tessa Stitches achieved a distinction pass for their narratives. Here they are for their stories.
Sam turned the lights off immediately. The maid had just walked past the study door. As Sam tried to turn the lights back on, he realised that the light bulb had blown, leaving Paige and himself in the dark. Sam got his old red torch out from his pocket and shone it around the large dark room. A loud bang and a jangle of keys alerted Paige and Sam that their strict father was home from the gold mine where he worked. Being boss of the gold mine meant that Mr. Lackenworth spent long hours bossing poor people around and getting rich with power and gold. Left in the care of the maid Lucy meant that Sam and Paige could search the huge mansion where they lived. As for their mother, well, she died a very long time ago, at the birth of the twins. Suddenly, a huge shape towered over the beam of the torch, and in the doorway was Sam and Paige's father. Diving behind a velvet armchair, Sam switched his torch off and squinted to see if Paige had managed to hide in time of Mr. Lackenworth's arrival. Soon, water from overhead was heard, leaking, thought Sam. A little swearing was heard from Sam's father, and soon Mr. Lackenworth left the room, after also noticing that the light had blown. Sam turned on his glaring red torch and whispered to Paige, nothing. He whispered again, nothing. Then a blinding light came on and Sam's father locked the door and started working. Trapped.
Sam turned off the lights immediately. Darkness followed up the room. It was pitch black. The shuffling came again from the rusty, creaky cupboard. Sam's heavy breathing echoed through the room. Slowly and cautiously, Sam crept silently towards the cupboard. He was a boy of 8. He was quite handsome, with skin that looked like thousands of gold coins gleaming in the sunlight. He had a halo of chestnut hair that drooped over his sea blue eyes. When he smiled, it was all lopsided, and he had a starry twinkle in his left eye. Anyway, he crept forward, his heart pounding like a wild animal in a cage. Sam reached out slowly and gripped the handle. Sweat trickled down his forehead like watery tears. He turned the knob quickly and swayed open the door. He peered inside, to gleaming blood-red eyes staring back at him. Sam yelped in shock and backed away. A humongous monster sloped out. The monster had long, shriveled black hair, draped like a cape over his body. Horns crept out of his head like antlers, and Sam could see 2 big bear-like feet stamping on the ground. Sam crumpled to the ground and flung open the curtains. Dawn swept through the room in a spray of light. Sam shielded his eyes and turned to the monster stomping towards him. Suddenly his eyes slid closed, and the roaring of the monster drew to an end. Then Sam fainted. Well done, Lucy and Tessa. We need a song.
Now, at this point, we're going to let our Windsor Studio and Bird Studio children go, because we have some certificates to give out, and our Litleys have been sitting beautifully for such a long time. We've had some fabulous performances today. And our Year 3s and 4s, well, our Year 3s in particular, you're going to be finding out some things that you could do next year. Okay, that's why you guys are staying. So if Windsor and Burwood would like to move on out. If this side of the hall, you people can come up to here, but we're making our gap down the middle. Organise really quickly, sit yourself down on your bottom and look into the front, and let's carry on.
Now for 3 more stories, distinction stories. Emma Tonkin, Livia Naylor and Bradley Salkel.
Sam turned the lights off immediately. As he opened the cupboard door, he knew someone was in his house. Quickly, they escaped their house, speeding down the highway. Sam chased after the intruder, picking up his friends on the way. Soon they were in the forest, dodging trees, rocks and animals. They stopped. Looking around, they saw their principal driving away on a jet ski. Then a strange-looking man approached them from out of the bushes. He chased down Principal Billy. 2 minutes later, the strange man came back with Billy in his hands. Sam and his friends went home and told their parents. They didn't believe the kids, so they told the people next door, but nobody believed them. 2 weeks later, Sam found Billy in his house again, and this time he made sure his mum found out. His mum walked in and saw what had happened. She called the police and Billy went to jail. The class president was coming up for Sam and he was in it. Everyone voted for him because Billy was breaking into everyone else's house as well as Sam's.
Sam turned the lights off immediately. That I did, he thought, but it was too late now. His heart was thumping in his mouth. Sam moved to the door, but it locked. No one is there. I'm going to die, are the only words that buzz around in his head like angry wasps. All of a sudden, there is a muffled noise behind the locked door. Sam's ears prick up. Click, click, slide. Click, click, slide. His mouth runs dry. Sam can't take it any longer. He runs to the window and crashes through. But what's this? The sound is getting louder and louder. Sam finds his voice and screams. He runs and runs in a random direction. He has no idea where he's going as long as it wasn't his house. His arms have goosebumps. Eventually, when he slows down, the noise is gone. Sam finds himself in an eerie forest with the dredge. The dredge is like a carpet hiding terrible secrets. Cautiously, Sam starts towards the dredge. The cold moon slides behind a cloud and plunges the forest into darkness. Once again, he hears that horrible sound. Click, click, slide. The sound stops as soon as it started. But when Sam turns around, the old and twisted tree has a creepy message written in what looks like blood. Stay away. I'm watching you. I'm coming to get you. Sam's brain is telling his legs to run away and never come back, but his legs don't want to obey. They force Sam into the heart of that creepy dredge. The first thing he sees is some old gears. Sam takes a closer look even though he doesn't really want to. The gears are rusted and old, but all of a sudden they start to move. Sam rears back in fright. A face pops out behind those terrible gears, a face that shouldn't have been there, a face covered in what looks like tar. The ghost of the unknown mine worker, who is supposed to be lying at the bottom of the dredge, dead.
Sam turned the lights off immediately. Bang! She tiptoed through the hallway. With a glance ahead, she saw the ghastly, glittering glimmer of the window, reflecting onto the floor. She gave a timid smile towards the light, with a quick glance out of the window, at the dark, violet midnight sky. It was right then and there, when she knew her parents weren't home. Panic writhed around Sam's body. She was an obedient girl. Her parents had gone out. But why? Why weren't they back yet? It was an eerily strange sound, thought Sam. The noise, the parents not being back yet. And loud, shuffling noise met Sam's ears. Terrified as she ran downstairs and saw two young men sitting on the kitchen table. It's her, a muscular man whispered. Sam was very discombobulated about all of this when suddenly everything went black. She awoke, drool spilling onto her pajamas and memory, one she hadn't had before. She wanted to know what was going on. Was it anything to do with the memory of two men, her mother, her father, where were they? And a supposedly younger her doing what? Suddenly the man shot her away. Samantha Adriana Brooks, you have been chosen, said a booming voice. She didn't know what was going on.
Thank you, Olivia and Bradley. You all deserve the Distinction Award.
You're going to have to be very patient. We have many children who achieved either merit or credit pass in ICAS. The children from Ruru and Korimako will present the certificates, and we invite Mr. O'Reilly to shake the hand of each recipient.
The following Year 5 children have achieved a credit pass in mathematics. Hayley Chapman, Hayley Spriggs, Rosa Jugovac, Owen Menzies, Conroy Bate, and Shelby Allen.
Brandon Selkard and Genevieve Dobbs had achieved a merit pass in writing.
The following Year 6 children achieved a credit pass in ICAS writing. Amelia Aldling, Saki Fuchigami and Lily Smith.
The following Year 4 children have achieved a credit pass in English. Noah Hubbard, Holly Neal, Gemma Sitgits, Aria Walker and Sasha Batten.
The following Year 4 children were awarded a credit pass in writing. Gemma Sitches, Georgia West and Rachel Jackson.
Following Year 4 children achieved a merit pass in mathematics. Benjamin Allen, Rachel Jackson and Finn Bedden. Following Year 5 child achieved a merit pass in ICAS spelling. Caleb Woodthorpe.
The following Year 6 students achieved a credit pass in English. Saki Fuchigami, Livia Naylor, Leah Taylor and Emma Tonkin. The following Year 5 child achieved a credit pass in ICAS writing. Bradley Muck. The following Year 6 children achieved a credit pass in ICAS mathematics. Tia Lawson, Tessa Sitches, Benjamin Smith, Leah Taylor and Lily Smith. Year 4 achieved a credit pass in mathematics. Jake Hughes, Jackson Hobb, Esther Arm, Gemma Sitches and Holly Neal.
Following Year 6 children achieved a merit pass in ICAS mathematics. Amelia Olding, Harrison Stanley. Maria and Jessica Hughes achieved a merit pass in spelling.
The following children achieved a merit pass in English at their Year 6 level. Benjamin Smith and Meadow McKenna.
Year 4 students achieved a merit pass in English. Mila Tarima, Daisy Hopgood and Finn Bishop.
I'll be quicker.
The following Year 5 students achieved a merit pass in English. Jake Whitaker, Oliver McCosh and Oliver Alexander.
And we'll save all our round of applause till the end.
Oliver Alexander.
Come faster, guys.
Following Year 5 students achieved a credit pass in English. Ella Mackey, Rosa Jugovic, Genevieve Dobbs, Jessie Harris.
Following Year 6 children achieved a credit pass in the ICAS spelling. Emma Tonkin, Olivia Naylor, Saki Fuchigami, Tess Sitges.
The following Year 5 children are the lucky last. They have achieved a credit pass in ICAS spelling. First up, Jake Whitaker, Oliver McCosh, Oliver Alexander Stewart, who's away, also Jesse Harris, and Sam Mushton.
Alright, I want you to get your hands ready. You're not going to do a mighty might, but you're going to walk them up to it. Now do a big punchy, ready, This is your morning tea time, so let's
No reira ka mutu te hui I te ata nei. Go in peace, go well this morning.
Thank you. Let's have a big punch.